I want to bring back the melon baller. This is a nifty device that turns fruit essentially into a little ball. And I think it's so fun, and nobody does it anymore. So let's start melon balling again, right? If you don't have your standard melon baller, you can try this with a teaspoon or a tablespoon measure. You'll get sort of the same effect. It just may be a little bit more difficult. All right, let's get our cantaloupe prepped. I'm just gonna cut a little bit off each end. Anytime you're cutting fruit, especially roly-poly fruit, just like to remove a little bit off the bottom so it's a bit more stable. And now the sides won't roll around. I am gonna grab a spoon, clear out some of these guts. Ooh, the compost is full today. And then the other side. And the second I got these cantaloupes home, they smelled so fragrant. So even though we have this hollow cavity, I'm gonna go in with a melon baller and make my melon balls. Just push deeply and rotate. Oh, that's so fun. All right, push into the fruit and rotate. May take a few tries to get used to it, but you'll get it. Of course, you can cut into wedges or chunks, but this is just a fun, classic way to present fruit that I feel like has gotten lost a little bit. Just press in, rotate to get your circle. And what's nice about the melon baller, other than cutting the fruit in half, which you'll need a knife for anyways, this is just such a safer way to get all the fruit out and be able to eat it. Ooh, that one had a little skin. Went a little too deep on that one, but that's okay. Once you've started with one layer of the fruit, just kind of go through, use the melon baller to clean up some of this excess. And don't throw any of that away. You can eat that with a spoon, just save it for later. Be sure to not get through the skin like I did. Not everyone has to be a beauty. This is a fun experiment. Just like Lord of the Rings, he dug too deep, he dug too greedily. There we go, we're back in business. Not too close to the edge. I like to live like Free Solo, on the edge. This is why I have so much fun in the kitchen. It's because nothing has to be perfect, and everything can be a little bit of trial and error, right? If you mess up, which I am more than used to doing, just get back to it. All right, what I want to do with this side, I do want to melon ball it, but maybe we can do this really quickly. We'll get a couple out of here. Something I love to do, especially with my family, is make fruit bowls. So whatever I'm serving, like I'll hollow out a pineapple or I'll hollow out a watermelon and serve the fruit inside of the skin. I want to do that with this cantaloupe too. I'm going to use the melon baller, kind of like the inside of a pumpkin for Thanksgiving. I'm going to use the melon baller, kind of like the inside of a pumpkin for Halloween. The edge of the melon baller is the perfect kind of sharpness to just cut through most fruit. There's a good melon section. Oh, speaking of Halloween, I wonder if this year I'll experiment and do like a little eyeball dessert. Like if you put a little I don't know, like a chocolate chip or something, or maybe there's something you can add to this to make it look like an eyeball. It's a little gross, but you get what I'm trying to go for. I'm gonna clean this out a little bit. You get the point. We're not gonna do it fully, but kind of wanted to share with you the idea, the concept here. And then I'm gonna add my melon balls back into my melon. No matter what kind of fruit it is, if you're doing fruit for breakfast or a brunch or just for snack time, I just like to do the toothpick trick where you get some toothpicks. You can even get those cocktail picks. It's just a fun, mess-free way to enjoy your cantaloupe. Now that's a good one. So when you do this, take your time, be patient, and enjoy some delicious fruit. I have this beautiful honeydew here. I love this color of melon. Oh my goodness, just that subtle green is so beautiful. So I'm gonna cut a little bit off the bottom. Trim a little off the other side. And now I'm gonna quickly peel this. You wanna make a shallow cut. Helps to have a super sharp knife. Just follow the curvature. Once you get a piece started, it's easier to see where you are, but you can keep rotating it. It's kind of like peeling a potato. This honeydew has a thin skin, but if you're dealing with cantaloupe or definitely like a watermelon, that rind is much thicker. So I usually just take care of one hemisphere, rotate it, do the other side, or you can do your best to do one clean cut down. Flip, get the other side. Just a shave. Shave and a haircut, 2 bits, right? 2 pence, 2 something. What's the season after peak melon season? It's post-melon season. Love a good dad joke. Actually, that wasn't even from a dad. All right, we're shaved, we're rindless, and we're ready to cut. Oh, beautiful inside. I love having a variety of spoons in this drawer because it's like, ooh, who do I pick today? All the spoons are like, pick me, pick me. Our compost is super full. I don't even know if I'll have room for this. This is a super juicy honeydew. Get those seeds out of there. I feel like honeydew gets a bad rap. And I will attribute it to most melons are better like regionally. I had honeydew in Costa Rica, and let me tell you, I was like, is this what honeydew is supposed to taste like? Because it was so good. Most honeydews just kind of like dry and flavorless. That honeydew that I had, oh my goodness, let me tell you right now, it was on another level. I was like, are you sure this is honeydew? Because usually people are like, when you have a fruit mixture and it's like cantaloupe honeydew, it's like, oh, nobody actually wants that fruit. But I think it's so good when you get good honeydew. So let's try this one out. It's probably not Costa Rican honeydew, but it's super juicy, so it probably is going to be really good. It's kind of mild in flavor, but what's funny, this honeydew tastes a little cucumbery, which is nice. But this is very light and crisp. If this was cold, it'd be super refreshing. That's a pretty good melon. No rind. It is a little crunchy, but honeydew sometimes is much firmer. Something that enhances fruit too. If you ever have honeydew and it's not that great, try some tahini or even a little bit of salt on there. Kind of bring out the flavor and juiciness. Just a little sprinkle. Not too much. Really wakes your taste buds up. It's actually really good. Kind of transform what kind of treat it is. It is fruit, but like I said, this honeydew has more of that cucumber-y vibe to it. Makes it really super tasty. We're gonna do some melon balls with this. Quite honestly, I've done the melon ball thing like years ago for a video, and I kind of found it like annoying, but I wasn't doing it the right way. I just was scooping it out like this, and you get this little like semicircle, and it's like, oh, that's kind of dumb. You're supposed to push it all the way in and then rotate and scoop. So once you get the hang of it, it's really fun. And without the rind, we are not dealing with some of the same issues I was earlier. Here on Problem Solve, sometimes it's a little experimental, and I like that. Push firmly, rotate, you get your little melon ball. Now, usually melon ballers have 2 sides. I've been using the larger side, but you can make smaller melon balls. I usually like alternate uses for things, so I'm gonna have to research what are some other things I can do with the melon ball. Or usually what I'll do is I'll like look in every cabinet, look in the refrigerator and be like, what could I use you for? And then like search for inspiration around the kitchen. Oh yes, that's the other thing you can use the melon baller for. You can decore your apple. So if you cut your apple in half, trying to get the insides out, it's just a good way to scoop it out. Use this melon baller on an avocado, make little avocado balls. Guess you could go wild, get creative, use your melon baller for a variety of things.